Hey guys, this is Apollo here, and it is time for another deck profile. This time it is an update to my lyrical monster deck, which is Labrador, which I did make a deck profile way back. Now I just finished attending and participating in the Lyrical Cup, so don't mind the sleeves. I just finished participating in the Lyrical Cup. It is what it is. I mean, didn't do as much good as expected, but honestly speaking, it's mostly the matches I've been facing, even in for the most part, rather than the deck being not that good or me being bad in general. So all I can say for the Lyrical Cup is that, well, initially I made a deck profile of this actual deck like before Lyrical Cup, although it is not public. I just only circulated to a few people, and my initial intention was to actually upload the video right after Lyrical Cup. But along the way, um, I have made some changes and I made some adjustments based on the new stuff coming out, and also like um, you know, messing around with the cards here and there. So this is why I did post DZ-BT05. So I will go through the profile real quickly, and you won't see it along the way. I'll do some explanation about what happens here and there. So let's start with the right line. So on the right line we have Shizuku. Shizuku is, well, like any decks, any sort you want. I understand it. There's nothing much to say here. So great one. Your on the right line is Setna. Yes, it's the SR. I'm not sure if I told you about this, but we'll just show it again. So Setna, her skill is when this unit pawned by Aqua. You look at top 7, so plus 1, look at top 7 cards to the deck for a grade 2 or greater card, put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. And the grade 2 on the right line, you run Aqua herself, so when this unit is reported upon by a grade 3 mermaid, you can look at the top 5 cards to the deck for a grade 2 or greater card, put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. So you see in this general, like, this right line is basically very generic, especially when you're playing a deck that has a grade 3 mermaid boss, and honestly, it is pretty good. You just filter the deck really easily. And before going, yes, I got the FR. I have the double rare, but I changed the FR because it's looks nicer, I would say. Okay. Anyways, B grade 3 we have Labrador herself. So if you know what Labrador does, her skill is act once between finger circle, use a plus 1, you choose your regard because your regard, bounce it, and she gets the final power to end of turn. Second skill is when this unit attacks you, come plus 1, you call 2 prisms. You can call up to 2 prism cards from your hand, and if you call the card, you draw a card. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 2 or greater, your front gets plus 5. For this turn, this unit plus front gets 5k, and she gets a crit. So it is pretty straightforward. I mean, honestly speaking, as I mentioned before, I'm not sure if I did mention this in my unreleased deck profile, but what I can say is that if you guys know, Vert was a deck that I really love, and it's a deck I want to get in D, but unfortunately it is not that great of a card. I mean, a great of a deck in D as of now, so I am forced to go back to Labrador. So yeah, I think this deck has been sitting in my storage for quite a while, and it's only until like maybe like in the middle of this year I decided to go revisit back Labrador and just straight away get onto it really. Okay, so that's it for right now. So now let's go on to the main deck. So the main deck, obviously 3 personas. I mean, do I have to say much here? I mean, it's self-explanatory. I'm not gonna say much here. For the next the backup grade 3 I run 2 Revettes. So Revette is a pretty good card basically because she can pump soul and give your front row rear guards plus 5k power. So her skill is when a rear guard is bounced from to your hand during the main phase. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, you can put this card in soul. Your Vanguard gets the ability that your front rear guard gets the 5,000 power until the end of turn. So it's pretty good because, well, you can power up a lot with knowledge like with her, but a lot of cards in the deck I can just potentially make your rear guard stronger bigger. So that's it for the units. Now for the order in the grade 3 line, I run 1 ladder. Oops, can't see it. Sorry. Yeah, run 1 ladder. So in the context of the Lyrical Cup, this is not real relevant. I mean, the only reason why I'm playing this, especially in Lyrical Cup, is just to pump soul really. So just pump soul, draw one, get the 5k power, and That's much it really. It's just been pump soul. You can play Radiance Caliburn if you want to get a draw power or if you want to counter charge, but quite frankly, because this deck has a counter charge itself, I don't think it's necessary for you to play Caliburn unless you're in the draw two really. But this is pretty good because it is a basically a soul. It just gives you soul instantly and get a draw, like a +1 in your board. So a +1 on your hand, sorry. But yeah, you get my point. And of course, I played 2 of the Selfie Order, or most specifically, it's called Suspect Shot. So this basically means skill is like you can play it by combat 1, and for this turn you get all your rear guard can provide them all the time of turn. So that's pretty cool. Like this is pretty good because I think it is a that's a pretty expensive order because like it used to be like really, really cheap when I got it, like $2 each. Now this thing costs like a lot because I think people say when you got a full board you can just quickly give it's like a mini lyrical T, just more easier access, I'll say. Okay, oops. That's for degree 3. Now for degree 2 is we have Celtic. That's your other prism lineup you're running. So Celtic skill is her first skill is that when this unit is placed on Vanguard Garden Circle, if you have a Labrador Vanguard during this turn, she gets 5 power and 5 shield. So at times she is pretty good to use for card if you have a lot in her hand, and sometimes she's just basically your prism target to use for Labrador. That is not to say here. So her second skill is when this unit attacked. I didn't know this unit attacked. If you have a Labrador Vanguard, you can still +1. You can bounce her back to hand and choose another prism, and then bounce back hand as well. So pretty straightforward. I mean, it's pretty good. Like this actually class pretty well. So the next backup grade 2 I run, it is Petronil. Petronil's skill is when this unit is placed on rear circle, you can count +1. Look at top 7 card decks for 1 prism. Doesn't have to be just Celtic or Late was strongly mentioned a bit. You can also search for Labrador. So you search for persona basically. You can put one hand, shuffle a deck, and if you did not reveal a card, you may search 2. So pretty good because you just pump soul immediately. Second skill is after the ability she attacked, if you have a Labrador Vanguard, you may bounce her back to hand. So pretty straightforward. And of course I run 4 Vashablans. Now before I move on, I forgot to mention that this deck is unlike my other deck profiles, which is more budget oriented and much more for people who are want to play the deck but they're not tight budget really. This deck is more fully tuned out. Like you can see, I already put like ladder, for instance. I already put Vashablans, even more. I'll show more about what stuff I put in here. So this deck is really fully tuned, I would say, unlike most of my decks, which are more budget oriented. So just doing more of a Vashablans skill. So Vashablans skill is that when this unit is discarded during the right phase, you may still +1 bot deck her and you draw a card. So it's a really good recycler essentially. Second skill is when this unit is placed on regular circle, if you persona roll this turn, you can count +1, choose your Vanguard, and then it gets the ability that it gives all your front row units +5 power. So it is pretty good because essentially you have Revenge, you have Supersonic Shot, and you have this and that. You have a lot of stuff on the board with plus power really. So it does swing for big numbers. I mean, pretty good. Like you can use her as a scarf, or you can just simply use it to when you persona right, which you most of the time you will persona right in this turn. But essentially, it's really good. That's all I can say. All right, now for the great ones, I run for Late. Late is the first skill is exactly the same as Celtic's first skill. Second skill is when this unit is bounced from rigor to hand. If you have a Labrador Vanguard, you may soul charge 1. If you did not counter, this turn, you may counter charge 1. So you counter charge 1. So pretty good. And this is a pretty good comment. I think a lot of people underestimate this card, but it is a pretty good card. So I run for Nebirona. Nebirona's skill is that when a Prism card is placed in the same column as this unit, the called unit gets plus 5k. So essentially, you should call Celtic or Late. Instantly, she's given plus 5k in that turn. So 5k from their own skill, 5k from Nebirona. So it's pretty good because you are just pretty much bouncing and calling back the multi-tag really. And here is the new card that I just recently added. Now this is Heracel. It is the generic, the quote-unquote recycler for Lyrical in DZ-BT05. So what she does is pretty interesting because there's a reason why I'm playing her. Like, and this was the last minute change before I actually went for the cup today. I mean today, so yes, today. Um, Her skill is continuous. If you don't have any cards in your G zone, this unit gets all abilities. First, act on hand. If you have a Great Drill, Greater Vanguard, you may discard this card from your hand and choose 2 cards from your drop or soul and put them that are from the right deck and put them right deck face up. So you look at top 7 cards to your deck for a Great 3 or is it Great? Yeah, Great Drill, Greater card, and then you put one in hand shuffle the deck. If you didn't add a card to hand, you can return this back to your hand. So, basically you want to get like Revette, your ladder, hell even like Super Saiyan if you want to. But unfortunately you cannot search for the personas. My friend mentioned that. So you can only search for a different card that's different from your Vanguard. So you can only, essentially you have 5 cards on the field, 5 cards on the deck that you can search out for. So but that's not the main reason why I want to play her. But at times I would use her, but the main reason why I play her is because of second skill. Her second skill is when you use piece on Guardian Circle, if you have 2 or more open rearguard circles, for this battle, she gets Phantom Power. If your opponent has the G zone, I think face up, yeah, face up. If you get G card in the G zone, you take a Great Tree from Soul, draw it, and bind it, and then she gets another taking power. So she's a 25k shield. So, it's good because you can actually search for Revette, your ladder, or your selfie order, and at the same time, if you're somehow facing against decks that has G zone, this really comes in handy. So I did play like an indie side pot with this, and this thing really saved me. Like really, I'm not kidding. So the side pot you can play any deck was, and like in your cup you have to play everything lyrical, but in the side pot you can play whatever you want. So it is what it is. I mean, it is a pretty good card. Like I mean, initially what my old build, I mean I didn't upload the original videos, so it's private, but basically I played Aura in place of this at first. Aura is pretty good like as a budget point of view, or if you want to guarantee your order search early game, like you can get ladder, you can get the stuff. I mean, most of the time you don't get the Elementaria, which is a bit, but it's pretty good. Like you can play Aura if you want to get that early game pressure, or you want to play if you're more concerned about like the G zone being like I mean the people in the G zone, then this kind of helps, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. So PGs I run the 3 of the Ellies. Once again, I will say that in a budget point of view, if you can, there is no reason for you not to get Ellies because they are aesthetically not necessary. Like if you can find the effect that's cheap and really and what you like, just go for it. I mean, the Elves are just there for me just as a investment, I would say. So, but if you want to play it that like on RPGs, by all means go ahead. But I think just to keep it thing, I play Ellie, and of course the triple drive second dude because well in the only 2 decks that have triple drive, which is Kyrie and Coral. So is what it is. So okay, now for the triggers. All right, so triggers I run the blue OT. It is Forum. So simply because it's a 9 crit and you can just fish something back from a drop, really. So it's pretty good because I mean I think this is a really good card to get, really. You can play out OTs if you want, but I think to make it simpler, I think the blue T works pretty much well, really. And here's the change I did. This is different from my what's that called, the private deck profile. So I went for defect crits. Now, it really depends on your budget. If you really cannot afford to get the effect crits, then don't force yourself to do it. But it's just that when I was going shopping online, I realized that these are like really dirt cheap, so I just might as well pick them up when I'm at it. So this effect just did save me a few times because I would say, okay, actually a couple times really, but why I say that is because like in the case that your board is a little bit weird or like just really messed up. And in cases where you run out of soul before you can actually do her Labrador's skill, you can just essentially pump her in the soul and she'll literally become a another soul for you. And if you do it correctly, you can technically get some magic numbers from that board. And of course, because it is what it is, I'm playing 8 crits, but it's more 4 defect effect crits and 4 the vanilla ones. Yeah, I pay 3 effect fronts because it is the draw power in this deck is really crazy. I do not have much to say here, so no point for me going to playing a draws. Like I think the fronts are pretty much what they are, and I play for vanilla heals. So that is it for my Labrador deck profile. I mean, if you're asking me, well, is this a good deck? Like, well, casually competitive, huh, kinda, but it is really fun. Like, I really love this deck. Like, I really put my effort on building this deck to make it like really competitive as much as I can. But at the end of the day, well, even though I didn't perform well in the Cup, unfortunately, I'm still happy that the deck really turned out better than I thought. Like it did its best to fight really. So I would say yeah. I mean, it's not like any other my other decks which are slightly more budgeted or more cheaped out. This is more of the it's one of those decks that I really have to fully tune it and really make it work pretty well. So that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this tech profile. I do hope you appreciate it. Well, if you guys have any more requests or any suggestions, do let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.